Meryl was born on January 15th in 1935. She lived with her 12 brothers and sisters at 106 Withrow Avenue in the Danforth area of Toronto. Her maiden name was Baker, and she was number 13, making it a baker's dozen. Her dad worked at Canada Dry, the company that makes the world-famous ginger ale. They didn't have a lot of money, just one salary coming in, and yet he was able to raise a family of 13. Meryl's mother, Gertrude Edna, must have been a very resourceful mom to not only raise them, but to install good character. It was a lovely family. Meryl enjoyed school and had a lot of friends, but spent most of her time with her best buddy. She was outgoing around people and could be the life of the party, but for the most part, she was serious about life. Her best subject at school was the sewing class, where she excelled. This talent became very important later in her life, as you will discover. Meryl loved skating, and starting at an early age, when she was given a pair of skates for Christmas during the Second World War. That was in 1942. She was a very good figure skater and performed frequently in demonstrations. Figure skating was not all that well known at the time. Oddly enough, when she skated as a pair, her partner's name was also Meryl, but it was spelt differently. I met your great-grandmother Meryl when she came to spend summers on Ward's Island babysitting. It sounds like a cliché, but it was love at first sight. I really admired the way she was with children. I recognized this, and I was only 11. Meryl's mother and your great-great-grandmother, Gertrude Baker, was not pleased with me as a boyfriend. One day on the island, I decided to take Meryl to the city in my sailboat rather than use the ferry when she was on her way home. I tried to let her off at the city dock, but the wind caught my sail when she had one foot on the dock and the other foot in the boat. She did the splits right into the water. Oh my. Because of the wind and because there was nowhere to park the boat, I had to go back to Ward's Island and leave her stranded at the city dock, soaking wet. Meryl must have been quite a sight going home on the streetcar, dripping wet. I'm sure her mother was not impressed with her new boyfriend. Ouch. After 14 years, in 1952, our family left the island. Both Donnie and I were just finishing school. I didn't see Meryl again until she happened into Canadian Electrical Supply, where I was working at the sales counter. I hadn't seen her for maybe 5 years, but recognized her immediately. Apparently, she was on an errand for her teacher to pick up some Scotch recording tape. She told me that she had gone to 4 other stores before coming to mine, because nobody had any stock. I thought it must be fate, because the tape that she wanted is the most popular recording tape available. She was only in the store about 10 minutes, and in that time I showed her my bank book and made a date with her. We used to meet at a park bench at the subway station at Castle Frank Avenue, just before the Bloor Street Viaduct. It was halfway from where I lived at 588 Yonge Street and her house at 106 Withrow Avenue. We were married when I was 20 and Meryl was 19. But that's a whole other story and another episode. After Penny and Becky were out on their own, Meryl got a job working at Price Waterhouse in downtown Toronto at one of the skyscrapers near the top floor where she could see the CN Tower nearby. She worked in their printing department. She got the job through a connection with a baton dad. Meryl was equally active in baton twirling as she was in ice skating. A few years later, Meryl came to work for me at Decade Electronics, where she manned the order desk and looked after Robin. It was a great arrangement because what she liked to do most was looking after children. She had a wonderful, youthful telephone voice, and I'm sure we got more orders because of it. Meryl was the president of the Leaside Skating Club for 4 years, and on the executive board of directors for probably 20. She was also on the CFSA, Canadian Figure Skating Association, national board for a number of years. Your great-grandmother Meryl was instrumental in getting skating on TV. CBC Sports felt that figure skating would be too boring and too slow for their viewers, so refused to televise it. At the time, CTV was an upstart station more willing to take risks. They started to televise skating and is now one of the most popular spectator sports in the world. On her tenure, she actively supported team skating as a sport. Meryl felt very strongly that all the girls that work so hard should be stars, not just the ones that made it to the top.
Precision skating has become the newest form of competition on ice, and we're lucky to have with us this evening one of the best teams in the world.
She was a master seamstress and made costumes for baton and skating groups, never accepting any money. She was so generous and did so much for other people while always remaining in the background.
The most important one tonight, it's for Mrs. Clapp.
One time when Becky was competing in a baton contest where the first prize was a trip to England, Becky came second. Another little girl who won the event didn't have the money for the airfare. Meryl bought the ticket so that the little girl who beat Becky could go to the competition in England. Meryl's generosity in working with children came to the attention of a member of Parliament who nominated her to receive the Governor General's Medal. She was awarded the 125th Anniversary of Canada Medal in 1992. This was awarded to Canadians who have made a significant contribution to their fellow Canadians and their community. Meryl truly made us proud, and this happened every day.